some days I think I should just not even try. Anyways, this is where I'm at. Yes, I am not alive. I am alive here now. I'm on Facebook Live and I didn't turn my mic on. So here we are. Somebody should have let me know. And you did. Oh, here we are. Anyways, I was talking about, if you're still listening here this morning, I was talking about Judge Goldstein and her house burning down at Edisto Beach. And I just thought that this was, it is kind of suspicious. It's $1.5 million home burns down days after the anti-MAGA ruling, meaning she didn't go ahead and just give up all our voter information to the federal government. I'm not going to go back through my long-winded thing about the story. I was talking about the difference between the Daily Mail, the details that we got from the Daily Mail, and what we're getting here in the good old USA from South Carolina news outlets. South Carolina news outlets did not tell us that her husband had to jump out of the first floor window, according to the Daily Mail, he had to jump out of the first story window, and he, excuse me, her husband, former state Senator Arnold Goldstein, was in the home and had to jump out the first floor window. He suffered, he is 89. He suffered multiple broken bones in his hips, legs, and feet following the fall and was airlifted to the hospital. 2 other family members, including her son, Arnold Goldstein, were hospitalized in relationship to the accident. Here in the U.S., they were saying that they couldn't give this information out, who was in the accident, based on confidentiality and everything, and then they have it over there in England. So, but it is, and one of my Supremo texter here says, it's just so strange to me how so many jobs that used to get so much respect, like judges, police officers, school teachers, etc., well, what happened to the message? This is police officers, school teachers. They no longer have the respect that they used to have, and in many cases, they are not safe. I will agree with you. There was a time, I believe, in our country, I'm trying to remember where people were safe, particularly safe, if you were a judge, if you were a police officer. Now we have ICE officers being attacked at some of the places that they're at. And even that story about Chicago and how the Chicago police did not, when ICE asked for backup, did not go. Now, here's the interesting thing about that story. That's totally off topic, but we can talk about it because I watched it intently, is that they have a recording where the dispatcher is saying, we're not dispatching any more people, we're not dispatching any people to that area. I guess the police chief or whatever comes on and says, oh no, we were right there. So it's very conflated on how these things are happening, the support or the lack of support that people are getting. Take that and add in the story. We just have a country that is out of whack. What is it? Whoopi Goldberg on The View yesterday said that everybody should darken their skin and talk with a Latin accent at the Super Bowl, which is going to be in California this year, and so that the ICE agents won't be able to tell who is illegal and who isn't. I'm telling you, the country has gone berserk. I don't even know what the answer is anymore. I think it is a shame that the left so hates Trump that anything that the man says has to be horrible and has to be something to fight against. When you talk about budget talks and how they're going to get somewhere, the idea that we should be paying for illegals. They had another vote on the continuation of whether to pass the CR or whether to move forward with getting to the people's business. Well, they are not getting with the people's business. Voted it down again. So then President Trump said that he'd be, quote, willing to talk about health care with the right ideas, I guess, just to try to, I believe, just to try to get the ball moving, right? Just to try to get the ball moving, to get people to the place. This is unbelievable. It's unbelievable how much we have to deal with just to keep our country going. And the angst and the level that we have of anybody that is mad, pissed off, tired of, is just going to spew it out there, all under freedom of speech. I think we have forgotten the phrase. Were you raised with this one by your mother? If you can't say something nice, don't say anything at all. What happened to that one? I kind of like that one. I think that was one that we need to keep thinking about. All right. So anyways, but that's where we are on what we're dealing with in this country. So let's see. We got some more messages coming in here. So let me see what else we got going in here. By the way, I believe the Sonic is open as I'm waiting for this message here to load. But anyways, this is, I think the Sonic is open, although I don't think they have much business over there, which I understand. All right. Let's see. Supremo Texter said she and her co-host were talking about The View are part of the biggest problems, not to mention their followers. I'm beginning to think, this is from one of my texters who is a supporter here, it says, I'm beginning to think a lot of this starts at the top. I mean, with Trump. The way he talks down to people, calling them names, I wouldn't want to work with him on anything. What do you think about that? Do you think that Trump is stirring the drink, meaning getting people agitated all the time? Well, he does agitate him. He does agitate him, but I think his motives are to bring people to the table. Unfortunately, I too kind of think that Trump is getting a little overbearing. I have no problem with the idea that making the Democrats own the shutdown, but the time to get people back to the table, and he has sort of, in an offhanded way, done that, said he'd be willing to talk about it, whether they actually go to the table and talk about it, or it becomes another talking point for the Democrats to be able to say, we went to the table, that's it. Nothing happened, so we're right back where we started. This is I think Trump is becoming more outspoken on things. this thing the other day with Peter Ducey having a guest on that was a Democrat. And although, isn't it interesting that that story has totally disappeared from the media? I haven't seen anything more about it. I haven't seen what Fox did. Did they apologize to Trump because they had a Democrat on his show? I haven't seen, don't know if they had a news conference yesterday or not, but Peter Ducey, I don't even know if he was in the mix yesterday. But calling out Peter Ducey about having a Democrat on their show Sunday morning, I thought was a little over the edge. This is, how do we get anywhere if we don't have dialogue? And the dialogue that was had on that conversation may have not been wasn't what President Trump wanted to hear, but it still was dialogue, and we have to listen. And that's probably the biggest thing that I think is missing in all this. So let's move on. But anyways, our country needs to come together. It definitely needs to come together. If we could get together on this, we could move the mountain a lot further. Let's see, what time is it? It's coming up on 10 o'clock here. So what did I want to talk about? I wanted to talk about Pamela Evitt has moved ahead. Pamela Evitt has moved ahead in the polls. I think she is, this is an interesting poll that just came out. It has put Nancy Mace in second place, whereas before she was in first place, and now she is in second place. I do want to remind you that at this point, I'm not sure how much value a poll has other than to show that who's moving the mountain. Pamela Evitt, Lieutenant Governor Pamela Evitt, is spending a lot of money right now. We'll see if she can maintain that. My goodness, everybody is texting me here this morning. Anyways, that's good. That's what I want. That's right. Okay, early polls in the Palmetto states have featured Mace as the front runner, yet a large part of the electorate remains unsure. But in this last week, Mace has, let's see, where's the latest one? Okay, Mace's favorable rating in the poll is 40% versus 48.1% unfavorable. Evitt's favorability rating hit 36.1 compared to a 22% unfavorable. So they did a poll with around 1,100 likely GOP primary voters, and that's who we need to concentrate on. One of the other things that I'm sure is going to be an issue for our legislators is to see if they can close the primaries, because there will be a huge Democratic outpouring in the primary, which isn't until June. So one of my questions is, can they actually, if they pass the law January, February, March, will that be able to be enacted in June for the primary? But the bottom line is, right now, they polled 1,094 GOP primary voters. That's last week. She is Pamela Evitt is now out in front. So she is, where's my article on that? She is actually out in front on this, and that is what I really wanted to share with you. But I do think it is so early. It is hard to say that any of this really means anything. So where was my story on that? I had a story for you. Yes. Okay. Well, the bottom line is the story stated that Pamela had moved out in front above Nancy Mace. It was Pamela, then Nancy Mace, then Alan Wilson. Interesting, Alan Wilson is kind of holding steady in that second or third place. Then Ralph Norman, and then someone that doesn't even really matter is where we are at on that. So, what do you think about that? Pam has moved up front, but again, I think that it is so early. Other than her getting name recognition, I'm not sure that it really makes that big a difference at this moment. So, just wanted to bring you up on that. Other things that I wanted to talk about here this morning. We've County Council meets tonight. 5:30 is the meeting on that. We do have Empty Bowls coming up next week. You can get your tickets for that. Please go ahead and get your tickets for that. And please do not forget about Super Networking, which is Thursday night. Starts 4:30, 5 o'clock till 8 o'clock. They're also having the Grape Stomp and Super Networking all in one event at the Greenwood Mall. Now, we're going to be there broadcasting. If everything works out right, we're going to be broadcasting right there from the mall. We'll do half-hour shows on Facebook Live and on the radio. We'll be interviewing different businesses to talk about their business and maybe helping give them a opportunity to get some more exposure. So what do you think? Do you think you might come out? It's a free event to come to the networking. There will be lots of giveaways and whatnot. I think it is a terrific idea to hold this super networking at the Greenwood Mall. I think that's a facility that we don't look at as a possibility for events. And of course, one of the things that is going to have to be looked at is the fact that with Piedmont Tech and the Medford Center, with them getting ready to do all that work there's a lot of events that are going to be looking for other places. So kudos to Trincy for coming up, the CEO of the Greenwood Chamber, for coming up with a unique and different place and giving a focus to the whole community for all the businesses that are involved in the chamber. So I'm looking forward to it. I hope you're going to be there. As I said, we'll be broadcasting live from right there. So please make sure you are right there with us if you can be. So that's another story right there. Let's see. What else do we have? There's so much all the time. What about that? What do you think about that guy down there that's running for Attorney General of Virginia? Is that a big story? I think that is a huge story. And again, goes to what is the Democratic Party becoming? That is the story where this man had sent a text wishing that his opponent would get shot, killed, and his wife's children, the man's wife's children, would die in the wife's arms. I mean, what a horrible, horrible, horrible story. Horrible story. So please, we have got to bring this country back to something that has maybe that phrase. If you can't say something nice, don't say anything at all. Don't say anything at all. This is what I'm talking about. I am so tired. I am so tired of all the angst and the vitriol. And we have it right here in our own community. It's not just a national thing. It's in our own community right here. So as we move forth in this day here, we've got to try to move things lower the temperature. That's what we need to do. All right. I did want to touch on this. What's this one? There's now a lawsuit. Charlie Kirk's post was firing over Charlie Kirk's post was unconstitutional. Former Clemson professor claims in the lawsuit. You know, he was fired several at Clemson over some of the horrific things were said. A former Clemson University professor is claiming his firing over a post about the killing of conservative activist Charlie Kirk was unconstitutional, according to a lawsuit filed in federal court Friday. So that is a case that is going to be one to watch, just in case you're interested in that. We'll keep up with the details on that. I'm looking for one story here. That's why I'm having this issue. Are you okay? I'm going to go ahead and jump into this one. Have you heard about Doge SC? Have you heard about Doge SC? Doge SC founder launches a statewide ad blitz, major investment in support of the Palmetto Revolution. Let's see. I think we can play this ad. Yes, we can. I'm going to play this ad for you. This is the Rom Reddy. He's launching a major television blitz in support of its efforts, and it is the Palmetto Revolution, Doge SC, the pro-citizen movement founded by Low Country businessman Rom Eddy. I don't know about all of this, but let's go ahead and listen to it while we can. And I just want to listen to this. This is a commercial that's actually supposed to be playing on TV. I actually haven't seen it, but it also is on YouTube. Let's take it away.
I'm Rom Reddy. South Carolina's government is broken. We're the highest tax rate state in America, but we rank at the bottom in income, education, roads, and public safety. Government is rich and powerful, but we, the citizens, have been made weak and poor. That's not what our founders intended. The Palmetto Revolution will restore the 1776 vision of our founders, returning money and power to you. Will you join us? I'm Rom Reddy.
Okay, so that is Rom Reddy, and it is a movement. I guess we'd have to call it a movement. And Doge SC, that's their South Carolina government, is broken, is beginning to run statewide. It says on Fox News, accompanied by a substantial digital buy beginning this Wednesday. Well, that was last week. That according, so South Carolina's government is broken. Rom Reddy says, we are the highest taxed red state in America, but we rank at the bottom in income, education, roads, and public safety. Government is rich and powerful, but we, the citizens, are weak and poor. That's not what our founders intended. The Palmetto Revolution will restore the 1776 vision of our founders, returning money and power to you. So, this is that he's going to spend $1 million on advertising in support of its mission over the coming weeks, a major investment in support of the Covenant 250 agenda it unveiled earlier this year. Last week, Doge SC asked state lawmakers to sign on the dotted line in support of the first phase of its agenda, which seeks to empower citizens via the strengthening of constitutional separation of powers, the return of more money to them via rebates and tax cuts, and the use of artificial intelligence to overhaul and reform state government. You may remember that when we had Pamela Evett on last week, she was talking about using AI to overhaul our South Carolina government. Reddy's ad buy ups the ante as state lawmakers approach an election year session of the SC General Assembly scheduled for January, as well as pivotal partisan primary elections scheduled for next June. The extent in which members of the SC House and State Senate embrace/advance the Doge vision could play a key role in determining the extent which Doge SC gets involved in those partisans' primary. And then it says that they have a form that they want our legislatures to sign up for. And their vision: make South Carolina the freest, most citizen-first, self-governing state in America, a place where government is weak, citizens are strong, and the covenant between God and the citizen is restored on the eve of our 250th anniversary. Now, I don't know where they're at on this. I just thought this was... I thought it was an interesting approach, and he definitely is putting it out there. It says, support legislation allowing the governor to support 8 members of the JMSC. Phase 2, constitutional amendment to implement the retention elections. Yes or no for new term for judges and eliminate the MSSC. You know, that's where, how do our judges get to the office that they are in? That is a big question, and that's been an ongoing question. And every year it seems like the needle moves very slowly on redoing how we pick our judges. The governor, not commissioners and boards, hires and fires agency heads who execute the laws. Start with all major agencies. That is another problem. When you have commissions and you have boards, you're right, it gets diluted. I guess if the governor said, you're out of here, then that makes it. But our governor is actually a very weak position in the state. So that's some of the things. Then it goes on to return money to the citizen, repurpose a 25,000 agency jobs to the private sector, and consolidate agencies, reducing the size of government, eliminate half of the state's 84,000 plus regulations using AI tools already developed. You know, we've heard this. If you want to pass a new law, you've got to get rid of, 5 laws, 10 laws. There are a lot of ancient laws that have absolutely nothing to do with today, except when you need to get somebody picked up, there's a law probably out there somewhere. Require annual AI forensic audits of all agencies, including municipalities and schools that receive state funds. That is, this is not a rocket science approach. It is an approach that makes good sense. It is something that should be done. It's just like what we've seen with grants or with pork barrel stuff. People, legislators would get their, their pet projects, and their pet projects would then have no oversight. They would give the money, and maybe that project got done. Now, there were plenty that were done very, very well. Plenty that were done very well. But there certainly are a lot of them out there where the money was not spent judiciously. And one of the things we seem to forget when we say, well, it's the government, well, that's your money that is funding the government. It says, require annual AI forensic audits of all agencies, including municipalities, schools, and schools that receive state funds. Establish a citizens' trust fund to return surplus funds to taxpayers every July 4th and December 25th. It's just like last year. How much extra money came into the coffers? And what did our legislators do? Voted themselves a raise. I could get into this now. Anyways, eliminate the state income tax when CTF rebates are sustained. Reform 110 sales tax exemptions and review elimination of property tax on cars and boats. It goes on. There are several different things. Actually, it's not that much longer. Advance phase 1 of policy reform now. Death penalty for violent crimes against children. Fix the roads, start with governance by eliminating the 9-member commission and making the Secretary of Transportation a cabinet position appointed by the governor. Shift from 2/3 state-managed roads to 1/3 in 4 years. Eliminate in-house roads and efficiency. Cut SCOD staff by 50%. I don't know about that, but I could see where some of that could make a big difference. We do have to figure out how to get these roads done quickly and efficiently. And when you have too many cooks in the kitchen, what happens? You get nothing you want. That's right. All right. Eliminate all DEI criteria in hiring, contracting in DOT, and use AI to cut permitting times by 75%. I was talking to somebody last week that was talking to me about, actually it was out at Old 8, which is, of course, is the former Stony Point. And they were telling me, I was asking them when, and they said when is when they got the permits, and they had just gotten permitted on some things that they thought they would be way ahead of schedule. So not only is this on the state level, it's in our local level. Now, they have said that they expect going forward that they will not have as many problems with the permitting process that they had. By the way, I was, well, let me finish this discussion, then I'll tell you about this. Through the Eyes of a Child Education Initiative is to get to top 2020 K through 12 in 4 years. Start fixing governance by eliminating the Education Oversight Board, reforming preemption to the state, not local school boards, dictate education policy, reduce administrators by 1/2 by tying state funding to preset administrator rations, teacher pay tied to student performance on 3 progressive tests per grade, adopt 2 hours per week of AI-based learning in math, science, and English being piloted by Doge SC in Edgefield County. Some of those things seem pretty radical, don't they? They do. But would they give us the efficiency to move our state forward? Well, I think that is something that we need to invest further, and I think we need to see if we can get Rom Ready right up here on WCRS to talk about some of this, because this does seem radical, but is it really radical? Or is it things that our legislators talk about and don't ever really move on? And that, I think, is the question, folks. So we're going to reach out to Rom Ready and see if we can get him up here, possibly in studio, to discuss how this SC Doge can make a difference in our state and what it could mean for you and me and all the people that live right here in South Carolina. All right, so that's a story to follow. Now, just a couple of updates, which I didn't really get to talk about last week, is I went to the last Thursday, Old 8, down there on Maxwell. They have a lovely store down there with golf and everything. Had a great time. Oh, my goodness. I had a great time talking to and looking at how Old 8 is coming together. Number one, you should know that their restaurant is open. It's not open on Wednesday night, but it is open maybe most other days. You'd really need to check out there, but they are open to the public, and they would love for you to come out and try their menu. I saw their new fall menu. It looks quite delicious, quite delicious. I don't have a copy of it, but they are telling me their chef, although I'm trying to get an interview with their chef, is very, very, very good. So that is open to the public. You can go out there and check out that as a new place to have a meal. Also, they will have a golf academy out there that will be open to the public. One of the things that was most interesting about the golf academy, and they will be selling golf clubs and all the paraphernalia. but you will be able to get fitted for a putter or any other golf club, and you'll be able to have it in 2 or 3 days. This, they say, is going to drive traffic to come here to Stony Point, because the only other place where Callaway Golf has a location, I believe he said, was it California? I think it was California. So this is going to speed up, but they will actually have a facility where in 2 or 3 days they can turn around and have your clubs fitted to you. They also will have like a small, I guess, top flight type of arrangement there, and people will be able to take golf lessons, etc. That's another one. They also are opening a general store, and it will not be a Dollar General. It will be a very specific, they've got very specific ideas on their general store. So there are some things that are going to be open. They are excited about what they're doing. And I talked to one of the golf pros out there, and futuristically, he said, I could say that he said it, is that they hope to have a college flight tournament partnering with Lander at Old 8 once the golf course. Of course, that's probably 2-3 years down the road, but still something that will bring a lot of interest to their program and also to Greenwood. So exciting times out there with what is happening at Old 8. You can go out there and drive around and see all the construction and their vision. You can also, I think they have a Facebook page. You can also check out some of the vision that they have there. So check that out. But I was very impressed with what they're doing, what they will accomplish out there. They are professionals and they know what they're doing. They can just, as they said, get the permits to be able to get the job moving. And as they said, they have had an issue with permitting, but now not. And of course, one of the things that Greenwood has made the change to is being able to do permitting online, which I understand is going to make that process that much more better. So that's a few of the things that I know going on right here in Greenwood. So, what else have we got? We got this afternoon a great interview for you, We are going to be talking with Susan Jones. She works at Della House. She handles all the beekeeping activities and has brought that program up to an award-winning program, I might add. They've won several state awards, so that's pretty cool. She's going to be joining us this afternoon. I'm looking forward to that. That will be from 5 to 6 right here on WCRS. So join us if you can, 5 to 6. If not, there will be a copy of that interview on the website as well as on our Facebook page. Other things that are going on, I got a lot of good comments about Penny's first road trip. So, this month is Down Syndrome Awareness Month. Having had a brother that had Down syndrome, actually having a brother I didn't know I had, has made me acutely aware of the changes that have come with Down syndrome. And today it is not the stigma that it once was. 65, 75 years ago, it was not something that people even wanted to talk about, and you were encouraged not to keep your child. Today, people are raising children with Down syndrome, and I do agree they are some of the sweetest, most wonderful people around, and they are doing amazing things. So I just wanted to mention that is that October is Down Syndrome Awareness Month, and please be aware and please celebrate the fact that they are parts of our community now. And also the fact that Burton Center out there does such an amazing job. You know, Miracle League is going on Saturdays between now and the end of October. It's a short season, but it is the best ever. If you have a Saturday morning where you'd like to just kick back and go out and just see people playing a good old-fashioned baseball game, go out there to the Burton Center. Starts at 9:30 in the morning. Also, Chick-fil-A has come up with an interesting idea. It says, bring your football ticket stub to Chick-fil-A, either location, on Friday nights, and you get a free dessert on the spot. You get entered into their grand prize raffle drawing. Runs every Saturday through football season. Grand prize announced on November 10th. So it says this is pretty darn cool. This is for Saturdays, not for Friday football, but for Saturdays, I guess. So, I know. It's you can bring your Friday night on Saturday. Runs every Saturday during football season. Grand prize announced November 10th. So, if you go to your football game Friday night and you go when you're sitting in the stands, keep your ticket, bring it, and you will get a free dessert on the spot. That's pretty darn cool. So, check it all out. Don't forget the Grape Stomp and the Super Networking is going on this Thursday. We will be broadcasting from the Greenwood Mall. You'll be able to see us right there. We'll be interviewing, having a good time, so come on out and check that out. Also, the Humane Society is having a fall festival this Saturday, October 11th, from 11 to 3. Food, vendors, and pets that will be out there at Airport Road at their facility. So check that out. They'd love to see you out there for that. And today, October 7th, at Chick-fil-A, they're having a Call Me Mr. fundraiser night. That is this evening from 5 to 8 p.m. 5 to 8 p.m. So every dollar raised will help us support our mentorship programs at Brewer Middle and Pinecrest Elementary School. Help us give young students the guidance and encouragement they need to succeed. So that is today. So if you want to do something good, and of course you love Chick-fil-A, eat at Chick-fil-A tonight. It'll do them good. That's the Call Me Mr. program. And what else? There is another thing. Okay. I think that'll do it. I think that'll do it for today. There is, of course, a lot more to talk about. But let's see. Any messages come in here that we need to discuss? Okay, that one's good. And what about over here on my other answering service? Oh, my God. Okay, let's see. Okay, let's see. What shall we talk about here? We have my Supremo texter is in rare form this morning. And what does she say? Let's see, let me get to her messages. I love hearing from Supremo texter. She has a lot of good stuff to say. Let's see, where is it? Come on. This is about if our representatives had to work. Okay. Just trying to, I don't understand. This, our old text line just doesn't put it out there like my new text line does. But anyways, I think, okay. I tell the kids on the bus at the school, if the Greenwood Mall hasn't given up, there is no reason for you to give up. Well, there you go. That's actually, the Greenwood Mall has survived. The changes they have made in an economy, in a era where malls are not as popular. After all, so many people buy online. The fact that the mall has the Greenwood Charter School there certainly was a good move for them and is made for the viability. We do have some businesses coming into the mall, but you're absolutely right. If if the Greenwood Mall hasn't given up, there is no reason for you to give up. On the flip side of that, at least when they say we know what they're thinking, we know what their mindset is, we know who they are at the core of everything. So if our representatives had to work for the average income of their constituents, they would better understand who they represent, and they certainly wouldn't not have gotten that raise that they gave themselves. Hear, hear, I agree. We'll see how that's going. We haven't really heard anything more about it other than I hope they're not going to try to slide that one under the rug, because Ann Eller's going to be on it if they do. Hey, I am Ann Eller. Look forward to seeing you at 5 o'clock this afternoon. For all that participate, whether you call our new text line 864-332-9355, or whether you like the legacy line 864-229-7984, either way gets me information, and I love for you to participate in what's going on. Got a news tip, got a story for me? Let me know what you know so I can investigate or find out more about it. That's going to do it for me. This is WCRS Radio right here in Greenwood. Be back this afternoon with Susan Jones. She is a bee expert extraordinaire for over 20 years, and she's instructing down there at John Delahowe at the Agricultural School on bees. They have been most successful. I'm looking forward to bee buzz around with her this afternoon in the studio. Have a great day. Bye-bye, everybody. Take it away. Cue the music.
Keep on sharing.
The phones are open.
Keep on laughing.
Give us a call.
You gotta keep on caring. As long as you've got